Hello and welcome to the National Post Politics Bureau. I'm Stuart Thomson and I'm here with Ryan Tumilty, National Post reporter. It is one day after the federal budget, which is why we're a little bleary-eyed. Yesterday, I think probably the big ticket item, Ryan, was the hike on capital gains taxes. One day later, we had caucus meetings today. Ryan, how's the political world reacting to this?
You know, it's very clear, with everything that was in the budget, the Liberals are really trying to use this tax increase as their wedge with the Conservatives. The Conservatives have plenty of reasons to vote against this budget. To start with, they're the official opposition, that's what they do, but it is a high spending budget, it is adding to the deficit. There are lots of reasons why a Conservative Party might not like this budget. But the Liberals are trying to make this about, they are voting against this budget because of these capital gain taxes, which really only apply to very wealthy Canadians. It is a number of about 40,000 individual Canadians, about 12% of corporations. This is a small number of pretty wealthy people who are going to be paying these taxes. And I think, the Prime Minister in his caucus meeting this morning, he addressed them, he had an almost campaign-style speech, really tried to make it about, the Conservatives are looking after the rich and we're not. Yeah. The ultra-rich even. And we're not. And that's the framing that I think at least the Liberal government wants to put around this budget.
Yeah, it really was a campaign speech because he had ministers behind him, he had a teleprompter. How is Pierre Poilievre reacting to the budget?
He is calling it wasteful. He is calling it arrogant. He is talking about the way that all this new spending will put more pressure on inflation. I think, there's a lot of concern, I know, in the Liberal government that they don't want to have written a budget that leads to interest rate cuts being delayed, that leads to more inflation. So, I think that's been a big problem. I think he's trying to focus it on that, on the thing. I don't hear him coming out and saying that this tax on the ultra-wealthy is a bad idea. He may still, we'll see, obviously. He hasn't had a lot of time to react to this, but he's pointing out, fairly reasonably that this is a lot of new spending for a government that has already, significantly added to the national debt.
Yeah, and Poilievre is actually gaining support from younger voters. Traditionally, those voters would go to the NDP or the Liberals. How is Jagmeet Singh, NDP leader, reacting to this?
So his reaction has been a little, I would say, almost muted. His support is obviously crucial here. If he decides that he is not going to support this budget, the government falls, and we are in a much earlier election than anyone anticipated. I don't think that's going to happen, but yesterday he came out and said he wasn't prepared to answer the question of will he support this budget. Wanted to put that off for a couple of days. He's talked about disappointment. There's a Canada Disability benefit in this budget, something that's been worked on for many years, but it's only $200 a month. He has talked about there is a proposal in this budget to, through attrition, remove 5,000 public servants from the federal ranks. He was not pleased on that. Obviously, he has a big support in public union labor. So he has been coy so far about what his support is. I think everyone expects him eventually to come around, though, and vote for this budget.
Yeah, we've seen this dance before, right? This was the same thing last year. Okay, well, thanks so much, Ryan, and thanks for watching.